Who's Rich?
I don't know if that's Teresa Pugh, because isn't that the last name?
Yeah, that's Teresa.
She's incognito. We're still missing Jerry and Tom.
Is NA IT?
Yes.
I got very upset with the American Legion in Spark Hill.
I know, no comments. I was surprised.
I'm a member, and I'm very disappointed. And I gave the president a piece of my mind as a member of the American Legion.
That's your constitutional right to give me your peace of mind.
All right, let me.
Anybody here from Jeff? Not from Jeff. Jeff's right there. From Tom Divney or Jerry?
I'm in.
Oh, good. Oh, there you are. He's like popped up. Okay, Dennis, you trying to share your camera?
For whatever reason, I can't get the camera to go. I don't know. Unable to share webcam. Webcam is already in use. I don't know. I'll be Tom Divney.
Okay.
No camera.
Look at DT and TD. They're both blacked out. Okay, so I guess it's 5:33. We can get started. So welcome to the special town board meeting.
This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to the special town board meeting of June 23rd, 2020. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We don't have access, so we'll have to do it ourselves.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic, which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes. Oh. Oh. Hello. Yeah, how are you? Oh, no. It was the last virtual one. Jerry's here.
Oh, you want to go get him?
Yeah, do you want to, Carmel's gonna come out. Do we need to put him on a computer out there? No, the problem is the town attorney will get mad because it ruins the record.
Thank
So
you.
they may put you on a computer out there. Okay, they'll be out, they'll help you. Next week, we're meeting in person, though. You were a week early. I know. Well, I would have preferred it, but okay, bye. Okay. He's in the courtroom. He's like, are we meeting?
We're gonna set him up on.
Okay. Just give him 5 seconds. I'm gonna set him up. I guess the town clerk can start very slowly taking the roll call. Just do Jerry last.
Will do. Okay, Councilman Dennis Troy,
Present.
Councilman Paul Valentine,
Here.
Councilman Tom Divney,
Here.
Supervisor Teresa Kenny,
Here.
And I will wait for Jerry.
I'm here.
And hello, Councilman Jerry Batari. Thank you very much. We're all present.
Okay, so we have this special town board meeting tonight. There's just real quick discussion items. I just wanted to give you an update that we have the town attorney's office looking at our sign code. We received several complaints about different signs throughout the town. So I had the building department and the attorney look at it, and it appears that our sign code is 1 page and Clarkstown's is 35 pages. So not that I want 35 pages, but it sounds like we need to do something before we start having signs all over the town. So I just want to give you an update. Rick Picola is working on that. And we'll, certainly get in touch with you about it and your ideas and thoughts on it anyway. As far as workshopping, the agenda items, we have returning the deputy town attorney, which we discussed the last time, returning to work. And the Central Avenue, closing down Central Avenue. The specific resolution is for June 27th. But we're gonna have a discussion about adding the July 4th date, which I think we talked about in executive session last time. So, do you want to talk about that now when we get to vote on it? Let's talk about it now then.
Yeah.
So, I've been back and forth. I spoke with Skip Fazzetti today. I spoke with Ed Day today. I was in communication with Scott Wheatley up at the highway department. I still don't know that I have the exact answer, but I'm thinking that if we, the town, are okay with it, that they're inclined to give the permit for the 4th of July. Originally, they were hesitant, but I think they are reconsidering. I spoke with basically Jim Dean and police to get just an idea of what the cost is to do it. So it's approximately $6,500. It's $5,700 to highway and $800 to police for each night. I think when we spoke the last meeting, it was understood that the town was agreeing to absorb the cost on the 27th, but there was discussion about the Chamber of Commerce, Fall River Chamber of Commerce making some financial, contribution to whatever the case may be. I didn't have the numbers until literally a little while ago. I tried to call Brian Campbell, but I got his voicemail because, I wanted to give him the heads up on what the number was, not knowing what we were going to ask for. But, I think we just have to be cognizant of the fact that, we are thinking about doing an event in August, more of a Pearl River Day. What we're doing the 27th and with the liquor authority laws is really like outdoor dining. They could have drinks at the table and they could sit there, but it's not like walking around town with your drinks or anything like that. So it's a little bit less than Pearl River Day. We're thinking of doing a Pearl River Day-like thing in August once we get beyond state, all the stages of the executive orders or whatever, when it's a little bit safer to do it. So keeping that in mind, we would be paying another $6,500 in August. So, I just think that we're going to get to the point where Tapan and Spark Hill and other parts of the town are going to say, all this money is being spent on the downtown Pearl River. So it's really going to be a question of what, kind of contribution we're going to ask the chamber for. And again, everyone has their own thoughts, so I'll open it up with that. And again, this is all going to be upon the presumption that we do get the permit from the county, who's, any thoughts?
Teresa, what were the hours that money was going to cover? Is there a minimum or what is that?
That's 3 to 9.
Okay.
I mean, we actually lucked out because the 4th of July is technically not the holiday. It's represented on the 3rd. Otherwise, it would have been a heck of a lot more. So in that respect, we looked at a little bit.
I had thought in our emails going back and forth that we had a consensus that the town would pick up the cost on the 27th, and we'd ask the chamber to pick up the extra cost for the July 4th.
Yeah, I think that was kind of even the last conversation we had. I just think, we didn't have the number. So, again, we were working on that. But
that was my understanding too, that there was an agreement that we would pick up the 1 day, and if they wanted the second day and the county would permit it, they would have to pay for that second day.
okay, well, I agree with that. So we have 3.
Tom, I thought you agreed with that too.
Well, I said that we'd ask for a contribution. I never said that we'd have them pay for the whole thing. That was the email I sent out. But, you know, I don't know if we had the numbers back then.
No, we didn't. Honestly, it's been like a, you know, we've been working on this in between everything else. And, you know, we just really got the numbers a little while ago, and that's nobody's fault other than we were busy with other things. So,
I mean, I think we really need the chamber to weigh in on this because what is it, 3 to 9 on July 4th?
3 to 9, right. And I did try to call Brian Campbell right before the meeting when I got it, and I got his voicemail. So I know we have, Lisa is here from the chamber. I don't know if we want to ask her if she's got thoughts.
I
Anybody
mean,
else is here?
my thoughts on this are this. Right now, the Pearl River North Shore Swim Club is open. And if it's hot, I just don't see a lot of people going down to downtown area of Pearl River when they can go to the swim club and they can barbecue. I mean, that's just my thought on it, especially if you're not having fireworks that night.
Yeah, and Tom, I don't know if you were gone, because I know you got on a little late. We are planning this, you know, event in August, and we are thinking about having the fireworks then, and again, doing more of a Pearl River Day. But that's not till August, so.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying,
It basically ends up being about $1,000 an hour to close that street. And where the restaurants, I think as of today, are 25%, and in 2 weeks, probably, wasn't it 25% indoor?
50. He might have, it's 50%. 50% indoors.
50% indoors, right. So, you know, and they still have the outdoor seating they were permitted. I think I'm comfortable with saying we'll pay for the one day. If the chamber wants the second, they should pay for the second.
And I'm comfortable with that too.
I would just ask, what are we doing for other parts of town?
Well, so we are actually, again, this is the Pearl River Chamber's kind of events, but we're looking, and you missed it, we were talking about doing a Taste of Japan. We're working on something where we do something where we go to the restaurants and you go from restaurant to restaurant. We do have our town clerk working on something for the big field down there, you know, some kind of event down there. It's just not firmed up yet, but I agree. We should, you know, whatever we pay here, we should pay in kind to the other parts of the town.
Yeah, because everybody,
That's why, I mean, it's $6,500. We're paying for one day. I mean, you know.
no, I got no problem. I guess, Jerry, the whole thing is that the chamber came to us. So, you know, they're the ones, they were like, we want to do it. So it's not that we're ignoring them. It's that the Pearl River Chamber got together and, you know, they planned it. You know.
yeah, I'm not saying I'm against the chamber or helping the chamber either. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of other places, and how far, how much do you want to spend when you're going from place to place to place? So, you know, we just have to figure out what, like the same way we wanted to figure out how much we're spending here, how much are we going to spend in the other places? You know, and it doesn't have to be to exact, but you know.
Right. I agree.
Well, Jerry, my thought on this was we've always paid for the this same closure for the 4th of July. While we didn't pay for the fireworks, we did pay for the other stuff.
Right.
So this is, you know, instead of doing it on the 4th, we're doing it on the 27th. And we always did pay for Pearl River Day, which we're going to do on August 1st. So nothing has changed as far as our contribution to the Pearl River Chamber downtown to keep that thing. And if other parts of town come to us, we should definitely look at it on a case-to-case basis. And I actually think Teresa's idea of a Taste of Japan is a great idea.
Actually, Carmel Riley's, I have to give credit where credit is due.
Well, I appreciate Carmel. I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so I think I'm getting the consensus, and we just, so basically, we're approving the 27th, and, you know, subject to the county approving the 13th, and subject to the chamber willing to cover the cost of $6,500, we'll approve the 13th. I mean, I'm sorry, the 4th.
What? Yep.
I'm losing my mind. Okay, Rob, you got that?
Yeah. Yes. I guess the question is, you know, when you speak to somebody from the chamber, if things are different, again, if the 4th needs to be, if they decide to not to do the 4th or whatever, we can address it separately. If we need to
Well, I
have another
mean, you
meeting.
can also
we'll have
make
a
it subject to their approval too, you know, I mean, we
Right.
have time, so, yeah. Certainly, we're not gonna force them to do it.
meeting. No, right. That's all I want to mention.
Is Lisa on?
Yes, maybe we muted her? Did we, oh, there she is.
No, I'm here. Hi.
Hello?
Oh, that's not me.
Hello? Hello?
Sorry, you're in a meeting.
Yeah, I wanted to know, can I join the meeting?
Sure, you're in the meeting, but yes, you're in the meeting.
Okay, I want to know. My name is Pastor Edward Newton.
Okay, you have to wait until we call on you, okay? Because we have somebody else
All right.
speaking a chamber thing. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
I think this is caller 1 or call 2. Did you just speak us for a second again, one more time?
Excuse me?
Okay, we just wanted to make sure, we just see you as caller 1, so we wanted to know which one it was.
I
Okay.
guess Lisa's caller too.
No, I'm under my name, I think.
Miss Parker is
Oh, you
on.
are. So there's someone else. She's out loud. Lisa Leote.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, hello, we're gonna mute you for the time being. We're in the middle of a conversation about another matter.
And I
so
know
we-
you were trying to figure out who was caller 1, who was caller 2.
Yes,
I'm not
we were.
sure how
You're-
I'm showing up. This is Louise Parker from the Village of
Hi,
Nye.
Louise. You're showing up as 2, so I'm gonna mute you for a second, but I'll unmute you too when we're done, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that, Lisa.
No worries, no worries. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know, we're just popping this on you. I don't mean to put you on the spot by any means. I did speak to Brian earlier and I tried to call him before the meeting and I just got his voicemail. So I don't know if the chamber has any thoughts. You have to speak to people on the board or whatever the case may be. But
So, I mean, we're relatively on board pending our membership approval. If, now that we know that it's pretty much a go ahead on your guys, as long as we absorb the course, then we'll reach out to to our membership for a vote to get approval to do it. And then Supervisor Kenny, we could just shoot you over an email that lets you know that we're good to go.
sure.
Perfect.
Okay, good. Okay,
Thank you,
thank
Lisa.
you. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have
So
a great day,
let's-
guys.
Let's take a vote on this. Or do you
Okay,
want to hear the other callers first? I don't know.
I thought this is just
Did
okay.
Did caller 1 have to do with the chamber as well?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I'll unmute them to,
What's caller 1 comment going on?
okay, hold on. So I unmute. Yeah. It's not giving me the,
Maybe just click it again.
oh, okay. This is very tricky.
Are you right clicking?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, editing.
Maybe ask caller 1 to unmute. Because caller 2 is unmuted, it looks like.
Louise, I think I unmuted you. You're not here to talk about closing down Central Avenue, I'm gonna guess.
Well, not really. I was here just to be a part of the meeting, if that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah, no, just that we're talking about one thing that we're gonna vote on.
But I do have a question on that because I came on late and I may have missed something. Did I hear that Orangetown pays for part and the chamber will pay for part?
Correct.
Okay, so how is that done? Do you do that for all the villages?
Well,
We generally don't do it for the villages, just for the
right.
outside villages.
I mean, let me just take a step back. This is something unique to the fact like what they did in the Village of Nyack with shutting down for the restaurants due to the pandemic. So nothing about what we're doing here is necessarily normal. Other than the parade or a couple times a year, it's just that this is trying to help the businesses out. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but.
Okay, say that again. This is just a one-time thing that you're doing just to try to help the businesses?
Right, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, we're gonna pay for one night for the restaurant, for the restaurants, the business, and then the chamber's gonna pick up the cost of the next night. I'm sure in the village, it's like what they're doing, shutting down Main Street or whatever. I've talked to the mayor about it. Very similar.
Okay, but I guess my question is, since Nyack is part of Orangetown, why wouldn't that have been considered for Nyack?
But we did provide the police. We just when we have something like this, most of the costs that are associated.
Who's speaking? I'm sorry. I'm
This
on the
is Cal-
phone. I can't see.
This is Councilman Tom Divney.
Okay.
Most of the costs associated with like shutting down a road is because of the police officer that needs to be there for the event. And that's really anytime Nyack has an event, we do provide police officers for that event. And that's what we're really talking about. So when you guys have your fairs and what have you, we do provide police officers. And that's what we're really talking about is providing the police officers for that event because that's where most of the costs are.
Okay, no, that's what I was trying to get clarity on.
Yeah,
Like I said, I may have missed that at the beginning because it wouldn't let me get in the Zoom, so I had to phone in.
Because most of the time, if you're doing something like that, it's an officer who's on overtime because it's someone that's specifically assigned to that event for the whole period. Like some events, they need more officers, and then we go back to the chamber and say, you're going to have to pay us more because we're going to have to assign 2 police officers to your event. So it really comes down to the policing costs for these events.
Okay.
But Luigi, I will tell you, we have, we formed this Kickstart committee. I don't know if you saw us drive through the village the other day, and we do have Meg Mayo involved from Visit Nyack, and she's been really very helpful. And we are actually working to have some coordinated events. So, we're trying to cover all the businesses in the town. So,
Okay.
Okay, you're good. Now I want to unmute. I don't know if.
Caller 1.
Okay.
That's caller 1. I can hear.
Yep. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
So this okay. So I'm correct. So this is only a one-time thing.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, this is what we're doing. The Chamber of Commerce in Pearl River had come to us. They wanted a couple of dates, again, to help the restaurants. We had to get the cost together. Basically, they're going to cover the cost of one day, and the town is agreeing to absorb the cost for one of the days so that they can have 2 dates. But yeah, basically as a result of the pandemic and the restaurants having limited capacity. So yes, it's a special.
Was this concept offered to Nyack?
Nyack did their own. They shut down the streets.
Yeah, I'm not asking it. I mean, was it offered? Was it suggested?
We didn't suggest
Nyack has its own village board, and they approve shutting down their own streets. That doesn't go through Orangetown. We just provide police when they decide to do that. And yes, we do provide police to shut down the streets.
Okay. Being that Nyack already pays for the police protection, so you mean whenever Nyack has extra events, we do not get we have to pay for extra police?
No, you don't pay any additional. The chief is on here and he could certainly answer that, but there's no additional charges to the village.
Because to me, it sounds like Pearl River gets special privilege where Nyack does not. And being that I am new to how this thing works, it appears to me that Pearl River gets quite a few perks while Nyack does not.
Well, I would disagree because if you look at the police budget, Nyack is 13% of the population, but gets 25% of the policing.
Why is that?
Because there's more incidents of crime down there, so we have to.
Oh, wait a minute, excuse me. Stop right there. What do you mean there's more incidents of crime? Are you telling me that there's no crime in Pearl River?
That's not what I said. I said that.
So what do you mean? You just said that there's more crime in Nyack than there is in Pearl River.
Statistically speaking, that is true.
Well, my question to you is.
Okay, can I just stop everybody?
I have an issue with that statement, sir, because that statement sounds rather.
Okay, and we're gonna stop because this is not the normal proceeding of the.
I'm gonna call some of my friends to come onto this call because I just heard something very strange.
Yeah, you can call us as many people as you want, but we're
That
going
sounds
to.
racist. That sounds racist to me.
Okay.
But
And
it's
you're
the
certainly
truth.
entitled
If
to
you
your
look at the
opinion.
budget.
So you're saying because Pearl River does not have as many minority as Nyack does,
Oh,
you're
no.
saying to me,
Well, that's not what I'm saying at all.
That's
so
not
what are
what,
you saying?
that's
If
not
you-
what anybody's saying,
Okay,
sir.
we're not
So
gonna have.
what are you saying, sir? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're saying because Pearl River may not allow African Americans or people of brown color to move or hang out there.
Hey,
That's what it sounds like.
Teresa, mute this moron and.
Okay, I'm
move on
trying,
with the
okay,
rest of the meeting.
stop, Dennis, stop. Let's everyone just stop, okay.
It sounds like, sir. So I would be very careful if you're the chief of police, to talk like that to an African American.
Okay.
I am not the chief of police.
I'm gonna mute everybody. I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, we're stopped.
Good idea.
Okay? This is not the platform for this. That was not the chief of police by any stretch of the imagination, you know. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go into, come out of, we're in a workshop. We're gonna go into a regular meeting. We're gonna vote and we're gonna be done. For those of you who are not normally on the meeting, this is a special meeting. We don't even normally allow, public comment. On Tuesday night, there'll be another meeting in person, in which you can come and you can comment. You get 3 minutes. Those are the rules that this town board's been following for a very long time. And no back and forth. We don't go back and forth. Okay. So on that note,
Supervisor, can I ask a question?
I'm sorry. I don't even know who's speaking now. Can you identify yourself?
Yes, my name is Bill Einhorn. I own a food store in Pearl River. And I would just like to get some information about what permits are required for Saturday's event.
Okay. So I'm not going to get into a back and forth. I just muted other people and I apologize, but I'm going to have to mute you too. We're working with the Chamber of Commerce to get whatever permits are needed. Okay. Okay. Good Lord, such power. Okay. Okay. So we need to take a motion, I guess, to go into the regular town board meeting, right? I'm not used to my usual schedule. Okay. So,
Right.
okay. So we're gonna go into the first item. To appoint the deputy town attorney to return to work effective June 29th. Can I get a motion on that?
Yes, Jerry.
That was Jerry Batari. I'm a second from Paul Valentine. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so this is the closing the Central Avenue. I'm gonna do my best, Rob, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. We're taking a motion to approve the closure on Saturday, June 27th from 3 to 9. And subject, and then for the July 4th date, it's subject to the county giving a permit, the Chamber of Commerce wanting to cover the cost. Anything else, Rob?
No, that was it in terms of, and again, when we say cover the cost, just to be clear, I mean, the town basically absorbs the cost in terms of highway blocking the streets and the police coverage. So what we would be seeking is reimbursement for the second night, for the July 4th.
So reimbursement for the second night by the Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
Okay. Okay. I'll make a motion to move that. Do I have a second?
I'll second it. Paul
Paul
Valentine.
Valentine. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we do have an executive session to speak about some pending litigation and personnel matters. Can I get a motion?
Teresa.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. I think we really have to explain that we don't have control over Nyack. They have their own mayor and village board, and they control when they close their streets and have festivals. That doesn't come before us as a board. That's their town, and they have their own board and their own mayor. All we provide is police, and we do that all the time at no additional cost.
Thank you for
And
clarifying.
who was that was speaking? This is Louise Parker. I'm the deputy mayor in Nyack.
That
Hi,
was,
Louise. Hi, Louise. This is Councilman Paul Valentine.
Hi. And, you know, just so that we're clear, we understand that. And like I said at the beginning, I wasn't clear when you said we'll pay for one night and the chamber will pay for one night. That's why I asked for the clarity on that, to see what was getting paid for.
Well, no,
just
we
so
appreciate that.
We know how the process works. But now, before you guys go into your executive session, you said that you're having a meeting on Tuesday.
Yes.
No, July 7th.
Oh, I'm sorry, July 7th. Thank
July
you. My days are all merging together. Yes, so our normal meetings are most Tuesday evenings. This was just a special meeting we needed to get this approved before Saturday.
Right, I see that on there, but I thought your meetings was the second and the fourth Tuesdays.
Yeah,
No?
this is a special meeting because the chamber asked us to do like 2 weeks in a row, and then,
I understand that, but the 7th is the first Tuesday.
That's
so is
correct.
it the 7th or is it the 14th?
7th, July 7th,
Okay.
and then the 21st. And they will be in person in case, you know, or they can be watched on, we're going to be live streaming on Facebook or on the TV, or you could come in person.
Okay. I just wanted to get clarity on that as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So can I get a motion, I guess, to close the regular meeting? Did we do that already? No, okay. Jerry Batari, I almost called you Carmel Riley because that's what your name says. And I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then I guess we'll take a motion, go into executive session.
I'll make the motion, Tom Divney.
Tiffany, second.
I'll second it.
Dennis Troy, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, and everybody else can come in into the next meeting.